All right. So today I wanted to talk about the conversation that we had, reiterate a little bit on the negative mass conversation that we had. So, a little context. It's these scientists took, I think it's robonium or something like that, and they took some lasers and they cooled it really close to absolute zero, and it made it so that it acted the exact opposite of how our mass acts. So the forces of, or the laws of nature were the exact opposite. So if you were to push it, it would go towards you instead of going away. How do you think it would affect us if there was more just of that in the world? Negative mass, just on a normal, like, day-to-day basis.
Like, how? I don't know. I don't feel like it would affect us that much.
You don't think so?
It just behaves differently, right?
Yeah.
Unless we find a way to utilize it, create, like, energy somehow. I don't know. I don't know how it would, like, affect us as beings, though.
What if it was, like, there was just things in the world that had negative mass?
You mean just naturally?
Yeah.
You'd have to learn what it was. Like, I don't know. So, say you're walking through a jungle, right? And there's this plant made out of negative mass for whatever reason. And you're like, oh, you're like trying to brush yourself through all the plants. And this one comes up and it just like pushes you in the face. And you're like, oh, because you pushed it away but it hit you. You'd have to like know what plants not to like, I don't know, try and pull it towards you to go through.
That'd be so weird.
You just have to learn.
Yeah, it'd be weird. So say you were to go to another universe where, or just pop into another universe where negative mass was the mass. It was
everything
mass.
was negative mass. Things would behave really differently. I would wonder how like things would evolve to exist. So when we move our legs, maybe they wouldn't have legs, but when we move our legs, it's like there are electrical signals that cause our muscles to contract, right? So, or like my fingers, so like when I'm contracting it, would it have to be something else that like, I'm not sure. I just don't know. Because if you try to move your arm, would you have to try and move it back for it to go forwards? And that'd just be so normal feeling, you probably would. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it would be like playing like a video game where the controls are like inverted, where like if you press down it like looks up, and if you like go up it goes down.
Makes sense.
It'd be like that probably.
Really interesting. Can you imagine eating food? Your body would have to react by like trying to push it up for it to go down.
Oh yeah.
And for your body to be pushing it up, it'd have to be exerting forces on your muscles that make it move the opposite direction. If that makes sense. So your body would have to move your muscles in a way to where like it would make our muscles go down like this with the food, but it would have to do that so that it can make their muscles go up, so that it can make the food go down. It just like, I guess in that respect, the muscles would be doing the same thing, or the response would be the same way, kind of. Because our muscles push things down, so theirs would have to be pushing it down to get the muscles to move up, to get the food to move down. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fucking weird. Alright. How do you think the beings that live in this negative mass universe would evolve? Like,
Would they have legs?
I don't know. Probably. They might even just be the exact same as us, but their brains are wired to move differently. You said, like, if you wanted to move your arm forward, then your muscles would move backwards so that your arm would go forward.
It would just be interesting. Everything would be so strange, because if someone was staying on a cliff, you'd be like, get away from that cliff!
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
like...
Get off! Or, not get off, but get back on!
Yeah.
And you're trying to help someone up the cliffs, you're like, pushing his head down, like, get up here!
So if you wanted to, like, kill someone, like, they're hanging off of, like, a cliff...
You try and help him up.
Yeah, you gotta, like, pull them up, and then they'll shoot down.
It's just so bizarre. And, like, how would hunting evolve? Because bow and arrows, you know?
Right.
It's like, it would work so different. What would the equivalent of a bow and arrow be in a world like this?
What if it's just the exact opposite of a bow? Like it's like the handle is like here, and then you like pull the string like that, and then it goes like that.
What? So you pull the string this way, but
So
it's so backwards because say you took a normal bow and arrow and there's the string and you pull back, right?
Right.
When you pull it back, wouldn't the tension be pulling it this way? So in turn, pulling it, like pushing it back?
That's so confusing.
I don't know. It's weird.
Wait, so like if you were pushing it that way, it would go that way. So if you wanted it to go that way, you'd have to pull it this
But
way.
like, so say you do pull it back, okay? And I know it wants to go that way, but you're stronger and you force it to go this way, right? Then the tension is pulling it that way because now you've got tension. But wouldn't it be, now that there's tension, it'd be pushing it that way more? So like once you start pulling it back, would it just like on its own go all the way back and snap?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how physics works.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
Maybe a universe that has only these properties couldn't exist. I'm sure it could exist. I just don't know how things would work. Maybe you wouldn't have a bow and arrow. Maybe it'd be a completely different contraption. And to them, a bow and arrow makes no sense. To like that, they can't even comprehend it.
Right. Well, like, couldn't you like?
And how would you hunt? So say you take a spear, okay, and you throw it, but you like in a way kind of pull it back so that it goes forward, right?
Right.
So once the spear pierces an animal, you're pushing this way.
So it goes into the spear.
Oh, so it works better, huh?
Yeah, it's like
It's even more effective.
yeah, like you like shoot an animal and it instead of like being blown away, blows towards you.
It's so
like,
weird.
When you shoot yourself in the head, you don't go back; it goes like down.
That's bizarre. So say you take a hammer and you throw it at a wall. See, our hammers would bounce off the wall, but this would increase its momentum into the wall, right? So because it's increased the momentum into the wall, then it's even going faster. So then it would increase the momentum even more. So it would just infinitely accelerate into the wall.
Yeah.
Are you sure? This just sounds weird.
Yeah, it does sound weird. Maybe it would be completely the opposite. Instead of, maybe it would be like they would be able to move. It would be able to move through things. So like there wouldn't be complete solids. Like atoms wouldn't be attached to each other. They wouldn't attract magnetically or electrically or
however atoms are attached.
However the fuck they're attached. They'd just be separate and they'll always be pushing away from each other. And so certain molecules would still be bound, but they wouldn't be like attached, so they would still be able to move through things. So like if you were a being in this world and you would touch something, it could like move through you.
What?
What
that
do you
just
mean?
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy as fuck. It's obviously not how our world is.
That sounds cool though. So you just like absorb things into you.
Yeah, but it wouldn't like absorb into you. It would just like move through you.
So could you kill an animal if that's how things worked?
I don't know. Because our animals are like everything in our they're like substances. So like you can't really like go through them.
How would you eat? Would you just like push it into your stomach, give it enough momentum to like phase into your stomach, and then it breaks down?
I don't know. They probably wouldn't eat like matter. They'd probably eat something else.
Why would they not eat matter?
What if it was like the exact opposite? Like electric currents acts the same way as like solids and stuff act here. Like just electric currents. Like they're just electric currents, but there's different kinds of them. So like if there's like a ball, it would be like that's made out of rubber, but it's all electricity, and it's like a certain type of electricity that makes it into that sort of rubber. And because it's electricity, because it can move through these like spaces between the atoms.
That's weird.
And so like you exist as like an like electric being, and you can move through these atoms and whatnot, and you can like, you can't like go through other electric currents, but you can like interact with them and pick them up and stuff.
That would be cool. But you could move through physical things.
Yeah.
So.
But they wouldn't be like completely physical because they're not like bound.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because in this universe, this reality, aren't things not bound still?
No.
Kind of like, so you have the nucleus of
There's
an
a
atom.
lot of space.
And there's a lot of space. And then no atoms ever touch each other either. Like when you're sitting, you're never actually touching the object. It's resistance. It's like nothing ever touches.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're like 90% empty space in a way.
Right.
Because we're made of atoms, which are like majority space.
So when you like, you're never actually touching anything.
No.
Maybe it would be like, instead of being 99% empty space, it would be 99% density.
Then we wouldn't be able to move through things.
But we can't move through things.
Even though we're empty space. So maybe you have to be dense to pass through things, which doesn't make any sense logically to me, but
no,
sure.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what a world with these properties would be like. It's mind-bending to think about.
Yeah.
It's really cool, though. I don't really have that much more to say unless you do.
I don't.
Cool, well, I guess we could be wrong.
Yeah.
Sweet.